rise in the summer morning.
Alright, hey, Hades Meg here. So we're gonna do Hades Meg is gonna do a service on the air fork, alright? The air side or the air spring side of the Manitou Dorado Expert fork, alright? Like if you have the comp, you have a spring in it, alright, but this one has an air is an air fork, alright? So we're gonna do the service on it. I'm basically just gonna change it. Well, I don't know, man. I just watched the video and I can do like all the stuff in the video. Yeah, because they didn't change any kind of seals or anything in the video. So I'm gonna do it. Basically, this is just a vlog, all right? This is a vlog to see how Hades Vega gets it done. Okay, but there's a video on how to do this from the Hayes Performance YouTube channel, and they show you how to do it, all right? And that's where I'm getting this from, all right? I'm kind of just following this step by step and then doing it on my own, and then you guys can see how difficult it is for me to do it. It's actually really easy, all right? It's not like a motorcycle fork, all right? Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and do it. So I've been kind of amassing tools to do this, all right? And I finally get to use them, all right? So I will have a separate video on the tools that I got to do it, all right? But what you're gonna need for this side, all right? The other side we use Maxima 5-weight fork oil. This side we have to use a Manitou semi-bath oil, all right? And there is also an alternative to that. It's a Motorex oil, all right? It's a 4T something something something. I'll put a subtitle below what kind of oil it is, all right? Because if you buy the Motorex oil, it's much cheaper, all right? You get a lot more for your money, all right? The Manitou semi-bath oil is just this little squeeze bottle. That's like almost the same price as the big bottle of Motorex, okay? So it's just basically motor oil, all right? And that's all we use on this fork leg, all right? You don't use any fork oil on it because the dampening is on the other leg. Okay, so let's go ahead and service this fork, and then we'll see how it turns out, all right? The other video was just an oil change, all right? Yeah, if you want to know how to do an oil change on the Dorado Expert fork, on a damper leg, check that video out. I'll put it at the end of this video. There'll be a link to it. All right. Basically, I just changed the oil in it. I didn't change any of the O-rings or anything, and then I just put fresh oil in it. All right, basically. But to do a full service, you have to buy the kit, and it has all the O-rings, and you have to change the dust seals and everything. Hades Vega is going to do everything but change the dust seal. All right, on this side. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it. And this is a Soaron Light Bee. It's on a Soaron Light Bee, all right, guys. So whatever bike it's on, just get the fork leg out. Okay, so you can see I've already removed the wheel. All right, that's the first thing you're going to want to do. Put your bike on some kind of stand and remove the wheel. All right, and then we're going to remove the fork leg from it. All right. Yeah, actually, before we do anything, let's take the air out of the fork first. Okay, so before we do anything, we're gonna remove the air cap. All right. Put that somewhere safe. And then we're gonna let all the air out of the fork. All right. And remember what PSI your fork is supposed to be. So when it comes time to fill it up with air again, you know how much to put in it. All right. I think mine was somewhere around 90 or something. So just go ahead and get your shock pump out. Okay. Yeah, I got about. So yeah, take note of what you got in there. 85. All right, I got about 85 psi in mine. All right, I might wanna check the sag again. All right, but we're gonna let the air out. There's a little. My shock pump has a little button here to let the air out. All right, and that's what we're gonna do. You gotta hold it like in a certain position for the air to come out. There's not a lot of air in there too. Okay, it says it's at 0 psi, but I still hear air coming out, so I'm gonna keep on holding it until the air doesn't come out anymore. Okay, I'm gonna remove the shock pump. Okay. And it says to double check to make sure that there's no air in there. Depress the valve in the center here. Okay. Okay, doesn't look like there's anything in there. Okay, now we're ready to go service the fork. But first we got to take it out of the bike. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is remove my brake caliper. All right, I got to remove my brake caliper. That's a good thing because it's time for me to change my brake pads, so I can get that done right after. Okay, it's a 5mm Allen head. I'm going to use a socket. Yuck. Okay. Just make sure you don't lose the bolts. If you're afraid you're going to lose them, just put them back in the fork. Okay, but I'm going to take them out. Okay, caliper is loose. Now I'm going to go take it out the little clamp on the front here. A little clamp right here. Take out. I'm really sure I'll take this out. I'm the one that put it in there, so. Just gonna use a little pry tool here. There we go. So it's basically, it's like a little claw thing, right? It's like a U-clamp type of thing. Don't forget to put that back. Alright, now that the caliper is free, we can remove the fork from the bike. Okay, so I'm using a bottom bracket socket. Alright, I think it's like a 16 or 18 point. It requires these funky sockets. That's what I hate about this thing. I use a regular. Oh my god. Oh, dude, this is on there tight. There we go. Phew. Okay, just loosen it. That's why it's important to torque it. It would help if you take your handlebar off, guys. So, but I'm lazy. I didn't take it out. So, okay, you're gonna want to loosen the top pinch bolt, and then the lower pinch bolts. Don't have to remove them, but just loosen them so they're not pinching. Okay. Okay, so Dorado or Hayes says that you can use the sag guide. All right, all you have to do is put it in here, all right? Put it in here, and it'll spread the pinch bolt. Right, is it out? Yeah. Stick it in there. There you go. Okay, then that should open it up, and you should be able to take the fork leg out. Yeah. Maybe. For some reason, it only comes out when I turn it clockwise. Okay, and then when you get to about halfway, you're gonna want to take this little bumper out. All right, if you use it, take it out, and remember to put it back in when we're done. Okay, then take the leg out. Okay, leg is free. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna clamp it on my vise. I'm gonna get a paper towel, wrap it around the fork. Alright, and then I'm going to put it on my vise here, okay? I have nylon soft jaws. Clamp it very lightly. I don't know how strong this is, okay? It's not like a motorcycle fork, man. Motorcycle forks are like hefty. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is you're going to get your bottom bracket socket and then finish removing the top cap. Alright, that's the reason why we did it while it's on the bike, so it'll be easier, right? Right, you remember to take all the air out of it, right? Okay. Oh wow. I don't think it's supposed to do that. What the heck? Yeah. That's really odd. Am I missing something here? Yeah, it unscrewed itself from the air fork. Oh, that's weird. Okay, I don't know. I guess I kind of skipped the step. Anyway, there's the top cap. So now we're gonna push the bottom leg up. All right. So what I did is I pushed the bottom leg up, all right, like that, all right. So it exposes the compression rod there, all right. So what was supposed to happen, guys, was this, all right. This supposed to come out of here, all right, and this was supposed to be threaded into here. All right, guys, I'm going to show you. I don't know. Maybe that's supposed to happen, or maybe that wasn't supposed to happen. I'm not sure. But this is supposed to be on here, all right, guys. Oh, you got to take a 13mm open-ended wrench and put it underneath here, all right, the rod, and then loosen it from that, all right. But mine just came out. It came out. The whole thing came out at the same time. I don't think that was supposed to happen, but it did. So I don't know. Okay, but anyway, there it is. It's out. This is a lot less messier than the other one. Okay, make sure you guys got a catch pan ready. We're gonna flip this bad boy over. All right, we're gonna basically empty out all the oil that's in there. Okay, there's no oil coming out. I know. Yeah, no oil came out, guys. Was there supposed to be some kind of oil? Yeah, was there supposed to be some kind of oil that came out of there? Because it didn't. Okay, anyway. So now you're going to want to separate the upper leg from the lower leg. Okay, be careful pulling it out. Okay, there you go. There's some oil coming out there. So I'm going to clamp this in the vise and just let it drain here somehow. Alright, we're just going to let that drain there and then we're going to clean that later. Alright, so here is the lower leg out. Okay, so what we're going to do before we work on the damper leg is we're going to clean up the, what is this one? This is the upper leg, yeah? So we're going to clean the upper leg and we're going to use a brand new paper towel. We're going to kind of ball it up a little bit, stick it in there. Okay, and then I'm going to use an arrow. Okay, you need some kind of rod so we can swab the leg. All right, be very careful not to scratch or damage anything. All right, but I'm going to just push. Okay, there you go. It took some oil with it. Also, you're going to want to clean around the seal here. Okay, and around the seal here, there's all this grease. We're going to put new grease. All right, so normally for a service you would want to change these seals, okay, but I feel these seals are okay still. At least I think they are. This one has not been leaking at all. Okay, so and I'm going to see if I can take this foam ring out so we can soak it again. It definitely is soaked. Okay, but I'm gonna clean out all that grease from the seal since we're not gonna replace the seal. Okay, make sure you clean up and around the mouth of the seal too. Try to get as much dirt out of there as you can. All right, when you're cleaning on the outside, don't put it on the inside. All right, so make sure you get a new rag. All right, and make sure you're cleaning the outer leg and the inner leg. Okay, and I'm going to go swab this a couple more times. Okay, you can see it coming out of the bottom there. Just once it starts popping out of the bottom, you can just pull it out. Okay, like that. Okay, just keep on doing that until it's clean. Until there's no more oil in there, because we're going to put fresh oil. Okay, I'm going to try to take the foam ring out so we can re-soak it in some fresh bath oil. Okay. So what I'm doing is just sticking my finger in there and I'm trying to take it out. I'm kind of rotating it. There we go. It's actually not that hard to get out. Okay. And you definitely want to make sure that this foam ring is in good shape. All right, take a look at it. All right, if it still looks okay, you can reuse it. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I've already did this with the other fork. I have a little tray here filled with this with the Manitou semi bath oil. So I'm gonna put that in there and we're gonna soak that. All right, it'll suck that right up, man. I'm telling you. So just make sure. When it sucks up that oil, put some more oil in there, and then I'm going to flip it later, okay? Like we're cooking it. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to go swab this a couple more times. Okay, maybe one more time. It's like cleaning a gun barrel, right? That should be good. Alright, okay, so now that you got the upper fork leg or the outer fork leg clean, you could take it out of this now. Make sure you wipe it. Okay, so now it says to take your the lower leg, alright, or the inner leg, clamp it in the vise very carefully. Okay. Probably want to wipe this whole assembly down. Okay, so the next step is to get a 22 millimeter wrench, all right, and then we're gonna take this nut off here, okay, very carefully, and I'm gonna hold it also. There we go. Get that? Okay, now it says to remove the compression rod. There we go. Oh, oh boy, a bunch of oil, a bunch of oil came out. Well, hopefully it catches it. There we go. Okay, let that oil drain in the. Okay, I'm just letting it drain in the oil pan. What we do is get a clean. Okay, so what we're going to do next is take the seal out. You're going to need a plastic pick for this, alright guys? You want to use plastic so you don't damage anything, alright? So I've got a pick here, and then so you want to take this bottom plastic ring out. So there's a little kind of diagonal gap here. It's probably best to take it out from the top. It's really slippery, guys. Okay, it's made out of like a kind of rubbery plastic. Okay, remember which way it was on there. All right, it was on there like that. I'm going to put it down like that. And then you got to take this rubber seal out. Get underneath it, probably use your fingernail to pull it out. Now, I don't know, they didn't mention that you needing to replace this or anything. They just told you to take it out and clean it. There we go. I just use my fingernail to do it. I think doesn't really help all that much. I try not to damage it. Okay. Right, there it is. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do, the next thing they mention in the video is to do the travel adjustment. I'm not gonna mess around with the travel. I want the maximum travel. Okay, so we're not gonna. I think that has to do with this nut right here. Okay, but we're not gonna mess around with that. Okay. Basically, we're just gonna clean this up as best as we can. and it said to use alcohol to clean it. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, but I want to wipe off whatever excess oil there is. It still looks like it's in great shape. I don't think I really needed to take this out, man. But, okay, so they said to use alcohol to clean it, so that's what we're going to do. Okay. Just spraying it and rotating it. Okay. And we'll wipe it. Okay, you're gonna want to probably wipe your seal. Okay, make sure that seal is still good, and wipe the little plastic ring. Okay. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna put the seals back in, and to do that we're gonna lube it. We're gonna lube the O-ring seal, all right, with the Slickoleum grease. This stuff here. Okay. Just a light coat is what it says. Okay, and put it back on. It's kind of a pain in the booty to put back on. Okay, and then put your little ring back on. It should be at the very bottom. Nope, not right there. There we go. Okay, got that? It's like a little piston ring. All right, there you go. I mean, it is a piston ring. All right, now, okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to clean the inner leg. All right, guys, I want to take it out of here. So we've been draining it. Just make sure that the stanchion is nice and clean. All right, try to wipe off any kind of oil on it. You can use the oil to clean it too. Oh yeah. This one looks like it's in great shape. The other one had a little scratch on it. Okay. Clean the outside and clean the inside. Okay, I'm going to get a fresh one and then ball it up. Stick it in there. Oh yeah, how are we going to get this out? That's a good question. I'm probably going to use a... But it says you're supposed to clean it inside and out. Alright, I'm going to use an arrow to push it in there. I'm going to turn it around. Now it's stuck in there. Guys. Hold on, I got a tool for this. Okay, I got Mr. Claw here. We're going to use Mr. Claw to get the
tissue out of there. Hopefully it doesn't rip. Okay. Clean around the threads here. It's very clean, guys. I'm surprised how super clean it is, because this fork has been through hell, you know? Okay, before I stick it in there, I'm gonna grab it with the claw. Real good. Okay. And I'm gonna spin it and stick it in there. Okay, and then you're gonna want to get like some kind of light. You're gonna want to get some kind of light and then stick it in there and then look in there and see what it looks like. It looks pretty clean to me. All right, maybe there's some kind of stuff on the top. I want to swab it a little bit more. Okay. All right, if you guys are wondering what this is like one of those little spark plug grabber tools, all right? You can get them at your automotive store. I don't use it very often, but that's if your spark plugs are like really deep in the cylinder head type of thing. I'm gonna take a peep in there. All right, that looks good enough. All right. Okay, gotta make sure to get the outside a wipe. Don't worry, that's why we got dust seals, but I want to clean this thing as good as we can. We don't want any dirt getting in the inside. Okay. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is put some Slickoleum. I got it on the vise again, all right, the inner leg. We're going to get a dab of Slickoleum grease here, and we're going to put it on the threads here on the inside. This Slickoleum grease is kind of like a assembly lube is kind of what they're using it for. Okay. Okay, next thing to do is we're gonna lube up the piston, the air piston. Dude, it's like dirt on it. What's going on here? Make sure it's clean. Hold on. I know we just cleaned it with alcohol and everything, and then I saw a little speck of dirt on there. Yeah, make sure it's clean, guys. That's the tedious stuff about this. It's got to be clean. It's like working on an engine, guys. All right. So anyway, we're gonna put some Slickoleum grease on the piston here. Man, they use so much of this stuff. I would suggest you get a big bottle like this, guys. Okay, I'll put some on the bottom too here. Just all over the piston. Okay, and then so they say they put 3 cc's of grease. All right, 3 cc's of grease inside this cup here. All right, right here. So I don't know how much 3 cc's is, but how they did it in the video was they just put like two big dabs in there. Okay. Maybe you just want to go all the way around like that. I don't really know how much to put in there. I think it's better to have more than less, right? All right, and I'm just going to kind of put it around and just swish it around in there a little bit. Okay, I don't know if that's 3 cc's. I think they have a little squeeze bottle, and that's like 3 cc's or something. You just squeeze the whole thing in there. There's no way to really tell what it is, man. Put a little more. Just put a lot. Okay. They literally, the words they use is fill the cup. Okay? All right, and then now we put it back in. Okay, guys, here we go. I've got a pipette here. It's called, that's what they call it from at the dollar store. It's a syringe, all right, basically. I've got one that goes up to 20 millimeter. You probably want, this will probably work because we're gonna have to put 30 millimeters in the leg later. So I've got it, and I've got my bottle of 5W40 Motorex or Manitou bath oil. All right. How the heck do you open this? That's it. Okay. I've never opened this before, guys, so I have no idea what I'm... Okay, there we go. You could also probably, I don't know, it's a syringe. You can probably stick it in here too. If you got one of these, if you bought the little bath semi bath oil from thing. Oh no, the hole's too small. All right, so that won't work. What you could do is pour it in a cup and then suck it out with the syringe. All right, but we have to get 1 cc. All right, so that's like right. So this is 5 milliliters right here. We need 1 milliliter right there. That line. That's the line that we want. Okay. Wow, it will not suck this. This stuff is thick, man. Okay, I'm gonna suck it until we get like... Okay, that looks like that's 3 milliliters. So I'm gonna let some out. We're gonna get the air out of there first. Yeah, it is me. I'm not like a medical person, so I don't really think this. Okay, that's about 2 milliliters. So I'm gonna let some out. I don't even know how they did this. I think they use a syringe. All right, this is what they did, guys. Okay, so that's about 1 milliliter right there. Probably might be a little bit more. It's okay. All right, and then so now we're gonna put the piston back in. All right, we got that ready. We're gonna put the piston back in now. All right, if you've got it all lubed up, right? You just want to wiggle it a little bit. I'm going to hold it so it doesn't fall off. That's why they had you grease it up, so it goes in better. Oh, there we go. Okay, and then so before you put this cap back on here, okay, you're going to squirt 1 milliliter in there, right? Like I just did. God, this is so messy, guys. Okay. Good? Yeah, that's good. Alright, that's all of it. And then you're going to put the cap back on, or you're going to push the piston down in there further. Oh crap, whole thing almost... Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, there's already air pressure in there, guys. Oh yeah, so yeah, you've got to push it down until you can get it in there, and then you can tighten this, okay? And then tighten it as much as you can by hand. Okay, so tighten it as much as you can by hand. make sure these O-rings are still in good shape. That's, you know what the weird thing about this is, they never mentioned replacing any of the O-rings on this. So there should still be Slickoleum grease in there. So okay, so we're gonna get our 22 millimeter wrench. All right, and I'm gonna hold it on the bottom here. And so they say to use a 22 millimeter crow's foot. I don't have one, guys. Sorry. So what I'm just gonna do is snug it. The torque is really, really low. It's like 2 to 3 Newton meters. All right. So just snug it. All right. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm holding it on the bottom here so it doesn't spin. It's very light on my vise. So careful not to get your eye, poke your eye on the rod. You should be wearing safety glasses, right? I'm not, sorry. Okay, and then it's bottomed out, and I'm just gonna snug it. Ugh. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's not going anywhere. All right, there we go. Now we're done with that. Let's take this off of the vise. Okay, hopefully I didn't damage the leg, man. No, looks fine. Set that aside. Okay, so this is where we're going separate ways from the video. They want you to take the seal out. All right, I'm not going to change the seal. I think it's okay. Maybe next time I'll change it. All right. But yeah, you definitely want to inspect it and make sure it doesn't look messed up. All right, and they want you to, and you cleaned this earlier, right? So it should be good to go already. But make sure you're looking inside of this. All right, just take a peep in there, see what's going on in there. They say to clean it with alcohol, but it looks pretty clean to me. I'm not going to clean it. I swabbed it with the paper towel, and that's the extent of what I'm going to do for cleaning it. Okay. And I'm going to leave the seal in there, all right? But the first thing we got to do is we got to put the foam seal, the foam ring back in, okay? So we're going to clamp this back on the vise. Okay, very lightly. Like that. All right, and then I've got my foam ring here, all right, soaking in the oil. We're gonna put it back in. Okay, if your foam ring doesn't look good, then don't put it back in. Put a brand new one. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put our foam ring back in. I'm gonna take it out my little cupcake tray here. We're just gonna put it back in like I did on the damper leg. Very carefully. Okay, maybe you want to spin it around in there so it's sitting in there nicely. I'll move my finger around it like this. Okay, and it looks like it's in there. Alright guys, sorry, I know it's kind of hard to see. But the foam ring sits underneath the dust seal, alright? If you take the dust seal out, you just put the seal in, you just put the foam ring in, and then you put the seal on top of it. Alright, but since I didn't take the seal out, I just put it in there, okay, underneath the seal. There'll be there's that little gap right there, okay guys? Alright. Okay, what we're going to do next is put some of that good old Slickoleum grease, alright? I'm going to get a big dab on my finger here, and then we're going to put it on the seal. Alright, so when it goes in there nice and smoothly. It doesn't get hung up. This is such a mess, guys. I'm not enjoying this. Okay. Just coat the inside with the grease. Okay. Okay, so make sure your top cap is nice and clean. All right, mine looks clean. and then go ahead and reinstall your the inner leg, okay? Very carefully. Gotta go. Gotta go this way. Why isn't it going? Let's go. Oh. There we go. Whoa. I was having a hard time going in and then poof. Okay, so now you want to push it in there far enough where the compression rod sticks out the top, all right? So I'm gonna... Okay, there it is. All right, and then we're gonna turn the leg around so the compression rod is sticking up. We're gonna clamp it back in the vise. Okay, so you're going to put your top cap back on. Okay, and then you're going to torque it. I'm going to torque it to 4 Newton meters, all right? The spec is like 3.5 to 4.5. I always pick the middle one, all right? So, where is it? This way. 4 Newton. Not a lot. Not a lot, guys. So you need a very small torque wrench for this. How about 4.1? There we go. Okay. All right, and then you're going to get your 13 millimeter wrench. Hold it right here, and then torque it to 4 Newton meters. Okay, that's it. Okay, you got your Motorex oil ready, right? Okay, here you go. So I'm going to stick this in there. I didn't even need to have this out here like this. Okay, I'm gonna draw. So we need 35 milliliters. All right, that's more than what this syringe can do. So I'm gonna do 20, and then we're gonna do 15. Okay, so I'm gonna stick it in there. Try to suck it up this way. Okay. Oh wow, that worked. That worked pretty good. All right. Okay, that's 20 milliliters right there. Millimeters right there. And we're going to go squirt that into here. Come on, faster, faster, faster. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to go draw another 15 millimeters out of into here. Oh, almost. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna let some out till we get to 15. There we go. Now we're gonna put another 15. So 20 plus 15 is 35 milliliters. Whammo. Okay. Good to go. Okay. So now we just gotta put the top cap back on. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so it's 7 Newton meters. All right, I got my torque wrench ready here, and then so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pull the inner leg out until this goes down, and then we can tighten it. Okay. There we go. Got it, and we can start tightening it. It's funny, the whole leg rotates when I do this. All right, see what's going on here? Yeah, the whole leg is rotating as I tighten this. It's okay, I guess. Okay, 7 Newton meters. Okay. I'm gonna hold the bottom leg and then try to tighten it. Doesn't work. Oh my god. I can't do it. Maybe I could do it while it's on the bike. I can't do it. Let me see if I can clamp it more. I can't do it, Dad. I'm scratching the crap out of this. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna torque it when we put it back on the bike, guys. Okay. All right. Okay, we're kind of done. I just need to finish torquing the top cap, but I can't do it while it's in this thing, man. I don't want to mess. I don't want to mess up the leg either. So, all right. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put the leg back in. And then I will torque it while it's on the bike because it's just a pain in the booty. All right. Put this guy back in. If you used it, if you took it out, I'm gonna hold it with my legs. Okay. I might want to buy some new ones. These ones don't look like they're in such hot shape, man. All right. Put this up here. So the important thing about why you're doing this maintenance is so you can inspect stuff, and if stuff looks broken, fix it, right? So mine looks like it's in really good shape still, so there's really nothing to really replace, all right? Except for these bumpers. The bumpers don't look so good. Okay, I got a little zip tie there. There we go. So I'm gonna push this up past it, all right, and then I'm gonna tighten it. Okay, I got more light. All right, so now what we're gonna do is take this out, okay, and then we're gonna tighten this real quick. All right, just snug so it doesn't spin. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and tighten the top cap. Man, I had a hard time getting it out. I think it's because the whole thing was rotating. Okay, here we go. That's it. All right, and then you're gonna want to open this again. Again. Put the tool here again. Okay, and I'm gonna lower the leg and set the height. All right, because we can do that with these. All right, and then so I want to make it. So I remember the Expert and the Dorado logo should be on the outsides. All right, so you want to be looking at that, kind of like that. Right. Yeah, looks good. Okay, and I'm going to lower it until to the height that I had it before, right? And at least make sure it's matching the other one. Yeah, just match the other one. That looks good. And then make sure it looks like it where it's supposed to be. Maybe I want to turn it a little bit that way. Okay, and then take your tool out here. Okay, go ahead and snug these. Okay, remember there's 3 bolts. They're 11 Newton meters. How do I know? Because I wrote it on the crown. Okay, I'm going to set my torque wrench for 11 Newton meters. 11.1. Okay, let's do the bottom. It doesn't matter which ones you do, but the bottom ones, you got to make sure you do it more than once, all right? There's one. Okay, and then I'm going to go one more, maybe 1 or 2 more times. Because they like tighten each other. Okay, and then this top one, you really only have to do it like once, and I'll do it like twice. Okay, one more. All right, there you go. Okay, next thing to do is reinstall the brake line. All right. So I had it going like this. All right, and I had this little clamp thing in here. Very important that you have this. Okay. Okay, sorry, I spoke too soon. Put air back in your shock, okay? But put air back in the fork. So I had mine set to 85, and so that's what I'm going to put it back. Put it back to whatever it was, you know, whatever you use, you know, for your seg. I have a separate video on how to do that. Slowly but surely. Gotta pump the crap out of this, man. I've never had it all the way at 0, guys, so I didn't know it takes that long to pump this thing. Cap back on. Make sure it's pretty tight. Okay. All right, and so with that, I have finished servicing my air fork leg on my Manitou Dorado Expert. All right, what a pain in the booty. I kind of wish I had the comp instead, so I don't have to worry about that. You just put the spring in, and then that's it. All right, but yeah, it's nice. The air spring is nice because you can tune it. You can put however much pressure you want in it. And I haven't really had any problems with the air spring at all, alright, so okay, so yeah, this was actually easier than the other side, and whether it's less messy is debatable, because you have to grease a lot of things, and you have to put some of that the bath oil. So I made a video about where to find some Manitou semi bath oil cheap, all right, and it's that Motorex stuff, right? That 1540 Motorex stuff. You don't really need that much stuff, all right, guys. You use a very little bit, all right. If I remember correctly, it's 35 cc's in the top of the leg, all right, and then when you're putting the bottom one in, it's only 1 cc, so you only use like 36 cc's or 36 milliliters of that bath oil, all right. So you use a very small amount, all right. So I've got a lot for future fork services, okay. So, and I plan to do this every year. The only thing that I didn't do that they did do, okay, there's 2 things I didn't do that they did in the Hayes video, all right, the Hayes performance video. The very good video also. So I will put a link up to that video in the description of this video, all right, in the descriptions. If you want to watch that video, all right, it's a lot more condensed. Hades Mega kind of went more into detail, and so you guys could see the trouble that I was having taking this stuff out
and put it, you know, servicing it and stuff. The fork leg is actually easier, all right? There's less fluid, it takes less fluid, and it's less messy, sort of, all right? You still have to clean up everything, yeah. So yeah, well, there's two things that I didn't do that they did do in the video is I didn't change the dust seal, all right, but I did take the foam ring out and I soaked it in the semi-bath oil, all right? Yeah, we didn't put a new dust seal in, all right? And I think the dust seal does seal the, it does keep the oil inside the fork. So if you're having problems with your forks leaking, you might want to change those, okay? I had a problem with the left one leaking, and I cleaned the dust seal, and it was fine, okay? So, but anyway, the next thing that we didn't do is the travel adjustment, okay? You don't need to do that if your travel is set properly, all right? But yeah, you're gonna have to disassemble this leg and then move the nut around in there to set the travel adjustment. I didn't do any of that, all right? They mentioned that, but I'm like, no, I don't need to do any kind of travel adjustment. I'm using the max travel on this fork, all right? I don't have any problems with the wheel hitting anything, so it's fine. Okay. Okay, and so with that, that's it. All right, all I got to do left is put the wheel back on and and align the caliper. And I got a headlight on my bike, so I got to put the headlight back on. All right. I will put links in the description of the video to all the tools that I used, and I will have another video on the toolkit I used that I put together. All right, I put a toolkit together so I can service this fork. I'm actually pretty impressed with the Dorado fork. All right. To tell you the truth, it's not as plush as I'd like it, all right? But maybe it's because we're riding this. This isn't a mountain bike, and it's a freaking gargantuan. It's not a motocross bike, but it's like kind of a cross between a mountain bike and a mini dirt bike, all right? So these forks weren't really designed for this bike, is what I want to say, okay? But yeah, it's definitely better than the stock forks. It's way better than the stock forks, in my opinion. This is probably the best fork you can buy for this bike. Okay, I did a little review on the Dorado Expert. Okay, yeah, I haven't had any problems with it. I wish I could tune it a little better. Maybe if I tuned it better, I can get it to be more plush. All right. Generally, when I'm riding on the pavement, I want it stiffer. All right, and then I want it really soft in the dirt so it soaks everything up. All right. That's what I'm gonna say. All right, but yeah, it's treating me pretty well. All right, the only thing that's happened is like, yeah, the damper leg started leaking oil. All right, so that's one of the reasons I wanted to do this service. Next time I will definitely change the dust seal. All right, the dust seals are about $30. The full rebuild kit is $70. So maybe I might do that next time. We'll get the whole rebuild kit. And there's a couple O-rings, and there's a couple O-rings that you need to change, is what I want to say. So it's a little more difficult to do the full service, is what I want to say. Basically, all I did with this service is I changed the oil in the damper leg, and then we took the air spring apart, all right, and then we cleaned it up, and then we greased up the piston, and then I soaked the foam ring. And then we put everything back together, right? And then we put some fresh semi-bath oil in there. Did we have to do it? Dude, it looked freaking immaculate in there. It was a great shape in there, so probably not, all right? But I think it's a good idea to do it, and I just wanted to see what was in there, and it looks great, okay? All right, thanks for watching. I hope this was an educational and entertaining video, all right? It was more kind of like a vlog video. Kind of documenting my servicing of the Dorado forks, okay? I know there's not a lot of videos out on these forks because they're like, literally, they're just only like a year old, okay? They've only been out for like a year-ish, all right? And it's a great fork, all right? Okay, thanks for watching. It's Meg out.